Welcome to Game News for August 10, 2013. Stay a while and listen because news never changes. And we're your hosts. I'm Chris. To my right is the big blizzard bear riding Mike.
Hello.
Wait. What is your mount? That's what I should put there.
What is my mount?
You use a mount in WoW, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
What's your... Okay, no. Which one do you actually use the most, or do you swap them around a little bit?
I guess I use the flying cloud the most.
Flying cloud riding Mike. I don't know if anybody can get this. He's Goku!
Everyone knows who Onyxia is. I don't have that mount, but you can say the Onyxia riding Mike.
To my right is the Onyxia riding Mike.
Hello.
To my left is that Civ 5 Slayer Grover.
Dude!
To follow up on the news about Atlus's future after Index Holdings' financial troubles look to be not getting any better. I think that makes sense. It looks like Atlus will be indeed sold off, as bids have already started. One of the top bids being over $200 million thus far, with 20-some different publishers looking out for the purchase that will likely be confirmed at the end of the month. So probably be the end of the year, somebody else is going to be holding Atlus, other than Index Holdings Atlus. There was a joke there and I ruined it.
The Entertainment Consumers Association is attempting to block the Violent Content Research Act bill that will be headed to the Senate for voting on. It was created in January after the Newtown school shooting and called for the National Academy of Sciences to do an in-depth study on violent video games. The ECA claims this is a waste of time and money that should be better put into the real causes of these situations, such as mental health, and I agree. The ECA listed very valid arguments of why this research is not being handled properly, but it has stated the highest court of the land has reviewed the scientific research and concluded that video games do not cause violence. The non-scientific personal opinion of the senator should not get to overturn the Supreme Court ruling, and once again, I agree.
Yes. How many damn times must we go through this before they figure that out? In later 2012, Valve picked up former PopCap designers Todd Semple and Jeff Gates to run a tiny two-man studio in San Francisco, but after both sides seeing things not working out the way they hoped, the two have parted ways with Valve to start their own studio of Semple and Gates games to get back into indie game making.
And Mike, already up to you again.
Again? I'm popular.
Yeah.
Sony's Australia division is having a bit of a row with the Australian tax office, claiming about 53 million in Australian bucks in back taxes and penalties, and that would be bucks as in dollars, not bucks as in deer. Sony has been shoveling over the paperwork and appealing the claims, attempting to prove everything is on the up and up while also making it clear that regardless of what's going on, there won't be any impact on Sony's gaming operations in Australia, not that Australia won't ban their games anyway.
Only if they're mature.
They won't ban them because they can.
Okay, so Saints Row has always been tongue-in-cheek humor, even more so since it jumped the shark with Saints Row the 3rd, and then jumped the moon sharks with Saints Row 4. But here's the most insane, most expensive game package you will likely ever to hear. Now remember, like last month we talked about that one racing game that had the race car that actually came with it? Get ready, folks. Get ready.
Are they going to the moon?
So, new Saints Row publisher, Deep Silver, is offering the one-of-a-kind, the Super Dangerous Wad Wad Edition, aka the $1 Million Pack, through Game, that's a website, for
$1 million.
On top of the Commander-in-Chief DLC and the game itself, duh, you get, here it comes, a replica of the dubstep gun, a capsule wardrobe, 7 nights in Dubai at the Royal Suite at Burj Al Arab, a week for 2 at the Jefferson Hotel in Washington, D.C., both trips with first-class airfare, a personal shopper, a Toyota Prius with 1 year of insurance, a day of spy training, a trip on the Virgin Galactic Space Flight in Space, you know, the one that goes so high up into the atmosphere it's actually 0 G's for like a minute, that one, some light plastic surgery, and a Lamborghini Gallardo with a supercar membership for a year. Is this real?
Right.
They say it is. It actually seriously could be. Is it absurd and crazy? Yes.
Utterly.
It is.
What the hell is going on here?
Oh, boy.
You know, the other one that remotely interests me is the one of going up in space. Even for a minute.
I read that that's like a $250,000 flight.
Yeah,
so that's like a quarter
flight.
of that right there, and I'm pretty sure the Gallardo is almost that expensive too. So I guess you're getting what you're paying for.
You can't do something that very few people get to do.
I don't know about the light plastic surgery. I mean, I'm not crazy about
No,
my
plastic
look.
surgery, that's a whole different story. The hell with that.
Yeah, I would. No way.
They mess with
No
my
way.
I'd probably explode anyway. What?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So how big is Oculus Rift making waves? Big enough that this week both Game Maker legend and id co-founder John Carmack and days later fellow editor Matt Hopper, who was Rage's creative director, will both be heading to work on the ever-increasing anticipated VR headset. We've seen more and more games offering support for it too. And since the Oculus made its big success for Kickstarter, this is a good time to mention that the crowdsourcing site is now allowed in Canadian campaigns. Kickstarter is proudly proclaiming that crowdsourcing, for games especially, continues to grow and grow.
So Canucks can now get on that crowdsourcing, which is interesting because I understood that the Shadow of Eternals game that continually pops up in the nose is actually out of Canada. So I don't know if they were making an exception for them or not, which I'm sad to report. Like, I think 15%, and they only have 2 weeks left.
It's 2 weeks.
That's a long way to catch up, even if the potential rumor of Nintendo possibly interested in picking them up, because about the same time they said, hey guys, we just got a new sponsor and we can't talk about them right now, was about the same time that Nintendo trademarked a new Eternal Darkness game, and Shadow of Eternals is technically a spiritual successor. So,
Maybe they'll get lucky. Maybe they'll get lucky, and if it fails, Nintendo will take it from.
I still can't find that game. I look for it every time I go to Vintage Stock, and they never have it.
I think everybody that has it isn't letting it go.
Pretty much.
Or they broke it because they thought it broke their console. One of the. And despite the success of subscriptionless action MMO based on the TV series Defiance this year, Tryon Worlds is in the works of closing down its San Diego office that handled much of Defiance Games' upkeep. Those responsibilities is now being moved northward to its Redwood City, California branch, where MMOs like Rift are already being looked after. No word on how many of the staff are being moved with the new project, and how many are being laid off. So it seems like even if you're successful, man...
Company of Heroes 2 is finally released, but to some controversial reception. A good many Russians aren't at all happy with the way the Soviet Union is being shown in the game's World War II era storyline. Sega and Relic and 1C are all looking into the matter, though several reviews have already been bashing the game for its massive historical inaccuracies, and a petition on change.org is trying to get Valve to remove the game from Steam in the Russian and former Russian territories.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
Okay, and Yatagarasu is a quality fighting game by former SNK employees that's been circulating for quite a while now. And recently they hopped on to the crowdsourcing site Indiegogo to power up their beta game to push it into final completion after all these years of funding them themselves. And it's been a success story, as this week they passed their goal, and with the finals hours remaining, look to be hitting a few of their extended goals. It's a shame they didn't get as far as adding the extra characters, as I'm pretty sure they won't make it that far, but they were asking $32,000 per character, which sounds a little bit high even for the quality of the game's animation, but still, it reached its GTPO goal, meaning it should have some really decent online capability for players around the world to battle each other. And in somewhat related news, Steam accidentally leaked a trailer revealing the King of Fighters 13 may well be heading to PC through Steam. And you know me, there's lots of other fighting game news, and I'm going to list quite a bit of it here in our rapid fire.
Dudes?
With Magic Madam Zatanna coming to DC Fighting and Game Injustice, with Martian Manhunter been officially released just recently. Yu Yu Hakusho's Yusuke and Hunter Cross Hunter's Gone confirmed for Jump's big new crossover fighter J-Star's Victory. PlayStation All-Stars will no longer be supported, so there will be no new characters. Sad face. Just balance patch and handing out all of the pre-order skins and some of the new skins for the latest additions to the game, which were Isaac Clarke and Zeus, for free. So much for Dart from Legend of Dragoon coming to the game as previously rumored, but... Oh, and Capcom producer Tomoaki Ayano said it will be likely 2018 or longer before a Street Fighter V. Facepalm.
Well, that sucks.
2018. That is 10 years from the release of Street Fighter IV. Granted, you know, it's getting yet another update, but that's a no-no. No, not an oh-no. Anyway, so that is Game News for August 10th, 2013. And don't forget, Gamescom is coming up on August 22nd, so lots of news coming out soon. Wasn't so much this week like I was expecting it to, but it's coming like a torrential rain.
Game stuff.
And I have nothing funny. How do we close out a show?
Would you like to herp in your dart?
Herp in my dirt.
Yes, have some.
There you go. Throwing a Ghostbusters line there. So we'll catch you next time on Game News.
Goodbye.
See you next time.